Things aren't looking great for K-pop these days. Idols are standing up against mistreatment and mismanagement, and their voices are finally being heard. Among the rising wave of discontent, NewJeans has taken center stage, pulling back the curtain on a side of the industry that fans rarely get to see. In a bold and decisive move, the group held a press conference on November 28th to announce their decision to terminate their contracts with ADOR and HYBE. The announcement sent shockwaves through the fan community, but for those following the breadcrumbs, it wasn't entirely unexpected. 2 months earlier, the members had opened up during a YouTube live stream, sharing their struggles and frustrations. They followed up with formal complaints to the company, laying out their concerns. But unfortunately, ADOR didn't respond, not even as their deadline passed. At the press conference, Hanni, one of the group's members, revealed why they felt compelled to take such a drastic step. According to her, the group had no other choice because ADOR and HYBE simply weren't listening. The mistreatment wasn't just aimed at the members, it extended to their staff as well. She described the company environment as toxic, filled with lies and manipulation. In her words, staying any longer was simply not an option. But this story gets even more tangled. As the details unraveled, leaked messages between Minji and 2 former ADOR deputy CEOs suggested that NewJeans might face an enormous financial penalty for breaking their contracts early. The reported figure? A jaw-dropping 620 billion won, or 124 billion won per member. Despite the staggering sum, Hanni stood firm, making it clear that it was ADOR and HYBE who violated the terms of the contract first. As far as she was concerned, the group had fulfilled their obligations as artists and shouldn't owe a single one in penalties. And there's more. Instead of dragging the matter through lengthy legal battles, NewJeans took a different approach. They voided the contracts outright and announced they were moving on. But, of course, ADOR wasn't about to let this slide. The company fired back almost immediately, claiming the group had acted prematurely by going public before giving them a chance to respond. According to ADOR, the contracts were still valid, and they expected NewJeans to continue working with them as usual. The drama escalated the very next day, when ADOR released a 26-page rebuttal addressing the group's claims. Among NewJeans' demands were some explosive revelations. They wanted to know who had issued the directive to abandon the group, demanded a formal apology from the BFT lab manager, who reportedly dismissed Hanni with the words, "ignore her," and called for action against a PR staff member accused of inappropriate behavior. They also demanded the removal of unauthorized photos and videos, accountability for mismanaged album releases, resolution of unfinished collaborations like their work with Shinwook, and, perhaps most controversially, the reinstatement of Minji as CEO. How did ADOR respond? By denying almost everything. While they agreed to investigate the Ignore Her incident, they denied leaking any unauthorized content, claimed there were no issues with album management, and brushed aside disputes with Shinwook as minor disagreements. As for Minji, they offered to reinstate her as an internal director, but flat out refused to bring her back as CEO. NewJeans, however, wasn't backing down. On November 29th, the group released a new statement that left no room for doubt. They declared that their contracts were officially terminated the moment ADOR received their notice. They emphasized that no legal process was necessary because the company had already failed in its duties. The members promised to honor any commitments ADOR had made with external parties before the termination, but made it clear they would not stay in an environment that endangered their mental health. They also took a moment to call out media outlets for spreading misleading stories, further justifying their decision to leave. It has also been revealed that Madein member Gaeun, who recently accused the company's CEO of inappropriate behavior, has officially left the group. On November 29th, 143 Entertainment, the agency managing Madein, explained her departure was due to personal reasons that made it impossible for her to continue. The agency firmly denied Gaeun's accusations against the CEO, insisting they have evidence to disprove her claims. They also promised to handle any legal matters with full transparency. Despite the company claiming Gaeun made the decision herself, fans and observers found it hard to believe, suggesting she didn't leave willingly but was forced out after daring to speak up against the CEO. Adding fuel to the fire, rumors suggest the remaining Madein members are being pressured to continue as a 6-member group, with fans fearing they are being made to act as though nothing has happened. The fandom is now divided. Some feel relieved that Gaeun is no longer in what many describe as a toxic environment. On the other hand, frustration is growing at the idea that Gaeun had to sacrifice her dreams while the CEO remains in power. Many believe 143 Entertainment deliberately released the statement amidst other major industry news to bury the controversy.